in action here. There we go. Okay, so yeah, Colossus ends up beating Gorgon. That there's that silly joke said as the Inhumans are still inside the X Mansion and they stumble upon Black Bolt, who's being basically guarded by somebody we haven't seen in a long time, unless he's been in a book I haven't been paying attention to, and that is
I have not
Sir
seen Havoc. Yeah.
Yep.
I have not seen Havoc in a long time. So
yeah, Havoc has had a run of bad luck lately in the Marvel Universe, between his brother dying, his face being all fucked up, his relationship with Wasp being trash. Yeah, so things are not going well for Havoc, and him and Medusa basically vaguely kind of trade threats back and forth because he's guarding this cell Black Bolt's in. She thinks he's basically just gonna blow Black Bolt away if the.
I mean, he's sitting there and he's got the energy coming out of his chest, which he looks pretty fucking badass with, and he's got that half burnt face.
Yeah, he's got a man bun.
He's got the man bun going on, but yeah, he does look like he means business. Like, and he tells her like, I one step closer, and I'm gonna blow this thing.
Yeah. Well, he kind of implies that, but then as they continue talking, he just walks away. He just gives up. He's just like, I don't care about any of this. I don't understand this part at all.
Well, they argue for a minute over Cyclops, and then he just concedes eventually,
It makes no sense. I don't know why he just gives up. If he's pissed off about his brother and they did this to his brother, I would understand him maybe wanting to take action, but him wanting to do nothing and like standing there basically threatening when they come in and then just giving up makes no sense.
Yeah, it's pointless. The whole thing.
I don't know again if that's gonna unfold like they kind of did an Amazing Spider-Man Clone Conspiracy, like a conversation is going to happen in a future tie-in that fills us in on that. I don't know, but it just ends weirdly with basically Havoc letting the Inhumans have Black Bolt and him walking out the front door of the mansion.
I mean, he doesn't tell her why either.
Nobody says anything.
He's like, I'm not going to do it, but not for the reason you think. He's like, the fight isn't about the Terrigen. It's not entirely. He's like, it's mostly about Emma and Scott, like whatever the fuck that means. And
yeah, well, we know Emma's up to shit.
Yeah, because Emma's the one who started this whole, like, got everybody going about the whole entire thing. Like, we need to do this.
I don't understand. Havoc's been gone forever, so how would he know any of this? How would he know Emma is behind everything? How would he know how his brother is killed? How would he know?
Because the last time we saw Havoc was Death of X over Scott's dead body, and he spoke to Emma about the whole thing. So he knows exactly what Emma did, like, because she faked his death, like that. He died from the Mpox.
I don't remember him being even in that book.
Yeah, he was there at the end. Like, they had a conversation, and because he knows that Cyclops had the Mpox. Like, he knows Black Bolt didn't kill him. Like, he's one of the only people.
This thing is getting very confusing first.
Yeah. Death of X kind of goes along with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I alluded to in kind of the blurb there, the 2-part event. I wasn't saying like this event is 2-part. It started in Death of X and ends in IVX, but
yeah, it's definitely a 2-part event.
It's I don't know.
It could have been a storyline. It didn't have to be an event. Like, it's not of the caliber.
Anyway, we move past all this Limbo garbage and we move on to new Inhuman garbage. As Moon Girl and Forge draw different designs in the dirt, and again, something happened in a tie-in we're not really filled in on here, which is the new humans who originally kidnapped Forge are now friends with Forge, and working to build a new machine to get rid of this second Terrigen Cloud because they feel bad about killing people.
It was a extraordinary X-Men tie-in with Old Man Logan and Forge when they first tried to use the machine. ISO and
I remember that tie-in. That was 18. I didn't read 19 yet.
Yeah, it was more that one, and that's how, like, we get here where they already have a basis of a relationship, and they took Forge. And when they took Forge, they get to talking and they figure out why everything's really going on, and they're like, oh man, we're not really the good guys here, are we? Because they don't have that royal perspective, because they're all new
they're
humans,
not the entitled royals. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Karnak, that's all we get there. Them drawing pictures in the dirt before we move back to Karnak, who possibly through meditation summons two Inhumans to where he's at on the world.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Me either. One of which, Synapse is the name, correct?
Yeah, Synapse and Reader
can mentally take drugs out of Lockjaw's system through her mind.
that's
So Lockjaw is now back in action. So if somebody slips you roofies in your drink at the nightclub, just make sure Synapse is around, and she will suck those roofies right out of your brain, so you are perfectly fine. That is what I understood from this. If you are going to a nightclub, you need Synapse.
I think, my explanation for it.
Yeah, she has telepathy. Well, however you say that, I can never say that word right. Yeah, telepathy. Telepathy.
So Synapse and Reader show up after Forge and the New Humans figure out how to build a smaller machine, and I don't know how he.
Yeah, all this got there, because like a giant portion of the story that happens off panel, because Synapse and Reader are with all the new humans, and you turn the page and they're meeting Karnak on the world.
And Karnak says he has no now this is unexpected, but for
two. Like what?
So he didn't know they were coming.
Meditating for? So, he doesn't know they're coming.
I don't know how they found out. Yeah, I don't know how they found out where he is, or how they figured out to get there. Like I know Reader can teleport, but I don't know how. I forget how it works. Like I don't think he could just teleport to a person if he thinks about them. Like he pulls out these cards. He can only do it every so often. He can't teleport all the time.
Yeah.
And he can see through a dog's eye. I think it's a dog's eyes.
We just missed a giant portion of story off panel. So once she gets Lockjaw back in action, we're gonna miss another portion off panel here. Because then we go back to the New Humans and Cyclops arriving in Iceland.
Blackbird, yeah.
Because this is where a Terrigen cloud is apparently coming, because the Blackbirds have Terrigen trackers, and this is where it's headed to next. And they're waiting for Forge and Moon Girl to come with the machine they're going to be building.
Yeah, and then the X-Men show up, the Uncanny, all new, and fucking.
Yeah, and as soon as they land, the entire team of X-Men move in on this stolen Blackbird and whoever walks out of it, including Baby Cyclops.
Baby Cyclops. And he's fighting with the Inhumans, and he like gets off there right away, and he blasts and just knocks Emma right away.
Yeah. He starts fighting his X-Men, because he's now better friends with the New Humans who kidnapped him than he is.
Oh, because he just hates Emma. He knows what Emma did.
Yeah,
and he just wants to take her down.
But he's fighting his teammates.
Yeah, he's
with
fighting
people he just was kidnapped by. He's got Stockholm syndrome right now. I don't know what's going on.
And then like they just start battling, and immediately
we get a couple page fight.
Yeah, and then immediately we go back to Colossus and Gorgon, with Colossus standing over him.
Colossus and Havoc.
And then Colossus and Havoc. Like you get like a one little frame on top of that, and then it goes down to Colossus and Havoc, and he's like, "Why'd you let them go?"
Yeah, and Havoc basically just is like, "All right, let's go watch the fight." He doesn't even answer. Havoc's an asshole.
Well, he's like, "My other choice was to murder him in cold blood. I owe my brother something, but I don't think I owe him that." Like,
well, listen, Havoc, just die, will you? Like, I hope the other half of his face gets blown off and he then is dead. Because
the funny part, he's like, "Oh well, let's go off," and he's like, "Forge has a teleporter." He's like, "We don't want to miss the big fight." And I'm like, "What? So you let them go and now you're gonna go fight them? So what was the whole point of that? Why didn't you just fight them in the first place?"
Sense.
And the funny part is like, what are you going to go fight them for? You're going to fight them where they're going to try to take down the Terrigen Cloud to save you? Like, now this makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, I know they don't know, but why doesn't Cyclops say, "Hey, guys,
who's he going to fight? Is he going to fight the X-Men or the Inhumans? Or is he just going to watch?"
I don't know. He might be
Because
going to watch, and
Colossus will
maybe
go fight
Colossus is going to
somebody.
go fight. Yeah, but why doesn't Cyclops just say, "Hey, they're here to help us"? You know, like Forge is coming, and we're going to stop the Terrigen Cloud. Like instead, he just blasts Emma and lets them fight. Like why?
Well,
Like
because
this is all
they
totally
think they have
unnecessary.
Forge. That's why.
Yeah, but it's just ridiculous. Like Cyclops knows that everything that's going to happen. He knows Forge is going to come with the machine. You know what I mean? He talked to the New Humans. Like, why doesn't he stop and say something? Why doesn't he stop and say Emma engineered this whole war? Like, we don't even have to be doing this right now. Like,
All right.
it's
Well,
completely
we'll move
pointless.
on because there's no point in talking about things that don't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
The Inhumans end up. We go to the Inhumans that have escaped, and they have teleported to the Philippines now via Reader and Synapse, who have somehow now gotten all these people together with Lockjaw, and everybody's
From
hanging out in the Philippines and pulling this fucking device off of Black Bolt.
It's so true. Like, when did they all get together? Like, we got people from the world, and we got people from
Yeah.
Limbo.
All
Like,
the
when did they all
Inhumans
get
from
together?
3 different locations have gone to the Philippines on vacation. And then that's over when they pull the thing off of Black Bolt, and he is fine but not fine according to Medusa.
Yeah, something. They did something to him. He cannot access his voice, but he has many weapons, and all he does is open his mouth and he rips off the thing and he just pulls it out of his mouth,
Yeah, he just rips it out
and
of
that's
his
it.
face. Then we go back to the fight
And
in
that's it.
Iceland, where the teams just go back and forth. Mosaic takes over Storm. It looks actually that's probably the best panel in the whole book. And then Magneto
Oh
just
yeah, it
having
is.
enough of all this shit is like, enough of this, and he's gonna bring a blackbird down on everyone's face.
This is the best. That is the best panel in the whole book. It looks so awesome. That color and
Yeah.
everything. Even the
And that's how it ends. Like that. So that's everyone's fighting. That's issue 5. So we'll start issue 6 with the fight continuing before somebody's like, probably Forge and Moon Girl come with the device.
I think Magneto's trying to stop the fight because he's like holding the blackbird over them. Like, all right, that's enough, children. You
Yeah.
know. Maybe they're gonna and 6 is the end, right? So what are they gonna do? They're gonna talk it out, and they're gonna
Yeah.
solve the
They'll figure it
problem,
out.
and that's
Find
it.
a solution.
Blah, blah, blah. It's pointless, all
Well,
pointless.
that's the end of issue 5. So you guys know how we do things. We tell you to buy it, to borrow it, or to forget it altogether. Well, I'll start things off this week here.
Go for it.
I just overall thought the story was very jumpy. You didn't stay in any one situation for more than 2 pages, pretty much max, throughout the whole thing. And it's just telling. It feels like Justice League. It's telling the story in just the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
There's huge parts of relationships being built between Inhumans and X-Men that is missing. And there are huge parts of the Inhumans kind of regrouping and getting together that are missing throughout the book. That either you have to read tie-ins to understand, or you don't. I'm not even sure because there's no notes like saying read this or read that. Characters kind of on the X-Men side of things just come off poorly throughout the entire series so far, with the exception of probably issue 1 or 2. I can't figure out what the point of dedicating any page time to Havoc was, and why Colossus wouldn't just punch his other half of his face right off for letting basically the entire mission of Colossus fail. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just so tired of New Humans and Inhumans being pushed down my throat. Like I will never buy an Inhuman or New Human comic book. Just
Or being mixed up with the X-Men. Like they've been mixed up with the X-Men for so
yeah.
long now.
Like I don't want to buy it, so get it out of my face. You know, you're making me not want to read the X-Men books now.
I I mean, I
The
like
art,
the Royal Family. I mean,
yeah, I don't even like them.
I like Black Bolt, and
The art was okay, but the
I like Black
panel
Bolt.
layout is just very basic, and it doesn't feel like an event story for me. I actually put down Barrow on the overall rating of this, but now just after talking about it, I would actually want to forget it altogether. I haven't enjoyed this series since issue 1 or 2. Since
Me neither.
they've kind of let the Inhumans just run wild and do whatever they want for the last 3 issues. I've lost interest, and I don't even care how it ends at this point. And they're really getting me near close to territory of I don't want to read the X-Men books coming out next, because I just don't know what the point of restarting the line is if
I don't know where
I
it's
don't
gonna
even
go.
know what I'm trying to say there.
Maybe it'll get.
You know,
Maybe
so
it'll.
you go ahead. I want to forget it altogether because this book has me mind fucked, and I don't care about my favorite Marvel characters essentially besides Spider-Man anymore.
Like maybe it'll get better under the new writers and maybe the new creative teams. Maybe some of them will, some of them won't. There's I mean, out of like 10 books, at least 3 or 4 of them have to be decent, right? Or good.
Yeah,
One of them has to be good. 1 in 10, right? 1 in 10 has to be good. But I mean,
I'll wrap up your thoughts here.
Yeah, I you know, the art in this issue was okay. It wasn't the best. I don't think it was event worthy. But I don't think it was bad by any means, really. I mean, there were some cool looking things. Like I liked the way Havoc looked. You know, with the energy coming off him. I liked Mosaic going into Storm and a couple other things. But I mean, this is a forget it altogether for me, really. The more I think about it and the more I analyze it, it's not event worthy. Like this could have happened as like a crossover, and it would have been fine as a crossover, but it still wouldn't have been that good. Like I expect better from Jeff Lemire and Charles Soule. I don't know. This is I forget it altogether, really. I mean, I don't even really care how it ends. I feel so negative. I feel so bad, but
Yeah.
like,
it's just
really,
it's gone on for 3 issues too long. There didn't need to be a 0 issue. There doesn't need to be a goddamn prime issue after it's finished.
And more important things happen in bad tie-ins than in the main story. So it's like I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah, they've literally wanted you to buy the tie-ins to this event basically, and
really badly.
kind of skip altogether the main event book, which is it's a very weird way to write things.
Yeah,
but you know that's it for this week, guys. That's what you get for leaving the choice up to us and fucking with the vote. Forget it altogether unanimously. We might try again this week. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see what books the choices are between. If something sticks out to me and Trevor we want to do, we might do that this week instead.
Yeah, there's some decent stuff coming out, I think.
Yeah, so we'll see. But that's it for us. As always, you can find me on Twitter, guys. For everybody but Rich Richardson, it is at bmer3660. And you can find me there whenever. Where can they find you at, Trevitt?
You can find me on Twitter at Afronaddict or on Instagram at Trevitz Comics.
All right, my man. That's it for us this week, guys. Holler at us online, and party's over. We'll talk to you next week.
Later.